Hi, everybody. We're just taking a moment with a Zoom meeting here and wanted to reach out because we're going to be attaching this video to a quick little questionnaire that we're putting out just to kind of determine if we're continuing on the same path that we're on right now as far as individual lessons go. Um, just trying to make sure we're adjusting so that we make sure everybody's getting what they need right now. So we were talking about the possibility of trying to model something that works or looks a little bit more like a traditional classroom in Montessori, which obviously is really tough right now. So some of the thoughts that we had real quick were the idea of either keeping the individual work time or the individual lessons as a schedule like we have now, or part of that, and part of my concern with that is that I think just naturally children aren't really on a schedule of I want to do this now and I want to do this now, or I'm going to do this now and I'm going to do this now. They often, especially in the classroom, kind of choose what they're going to do when they're going to do it. So in an effort to mimic that, we were discussing maybe doing some work cycle blocks is what we're going to call them. So for about 40 minutes, we would be available for a pop in, pop out, join us the whole time, join us a short period of time. You have to get up and use the restroom during the 40 minutes, that's fine. So it's not that one-on-one moment in time. It would be available to students, and if they wanted to do some counting work with us, we can actually break out on Zoom, one of us, and do a specific work while maybe others are looking at books that they have or sharing about the phonics tour they've had. This might take a little bit more work on our end as far as getting work out to you that students can do at home. But I think it's a real possibility for the kids to be able to feel like things are a little bit more in their control and a little bit more of their choice. Just we can send, if you have a child who's working on phonics tours or word building, we can send those things home, or we can send them over over our Google Classroom, and you can have them at home for your child to do, and they could take them out during our work cycle. And then if they need help from us, we're there to help them. If there's an idea of something they could do to kind of continue their work, we could have ideas. A little bit more social. We would break it down into small groups. So they would be small groups of anywhere from 4, 5, or 6 children, depending on the makeup of the group and who would be interested. And like I said, for about 40 minutes, and I think we would do that 3 times a week so that they would have a pretty nice chunk of time. And if we need to, like I said, move out to do something a little bit more independent, it might only take 5 minutes to help them through what they need help on. But then they still get that other time to feel part of the social group. So that's the first kind of question we have. And you'll see the questionnaire we're sending and attaching. If you can see it now, great. If you're gonna have to click into it, basically it's just these 3 or 4 questions that are dealing with this concept of a work cycle. On our end, it would be an all one way or all the other way. Not that everybody needs to choose it, but that if you choose work cycles, then you're on the work cycle kind of side of things. If you choose an individual lessons and continuing with those, you would be on the individual lessons. Everybody would still have circle, so there would still be that time. But we just wanted to get a feel for what they want and for what works best as parents. And the other questions that we had were things about assigning work. Do you want us to assign specific lessons for your child to do during the week? If you want us to give you those lessons, do you want to come pick them up from school? We'll print out all kind of the consumable things they would need, and then you could pick up for the full week on a Friday. Those are just some of the thoughts. And I think we are going to be moving towards definitely a pickup or a drop off every couple weeks for sure anyhow, just so that we make sure we're getting some art projects home and some other types of things that are follow-up to some of the unit studies that we're doing. And I think that's pretty much it. Was there anything else that we were thinking of? No. We just really want to kind of get an idea of where you are and where your thoughts are. If you, and it was kind of a hard thing to just explain in a questionnaire. So I hope this gave you a little bit of information, and certainly if you have any questions beyond what we're asking, and by no means is clicking a button and making a choice on a questionnaire a definitive yay or nay. It's really like, it just gives us a framework. If you've got some questions about it and you want to know more information, I'm glad to answer those questions. But really, I think it would be a great opportunity for a lot of kids, and for some families, it's much better to just have those little snippets of time, and we completely understand that as well. So I hope this will be helpful and helping us to kind of continue to develop what we're doing on our end. Thanks again for all your support. We truly appreciate it. We know it's a lot to ask, and we know it's a lot of work, and you know, while we might not be right there with you, we are thinking of everybody, and certainly understand the challenge that you're facing. So we want to just make it easier. Thanks so much. Bye. Stop recording.